down a gravel road in Lewis, New York. Below massive doors weighing 13 tons each. 187 feet underground.
Down.
Michael Hotmeyer
This is a really cool place. I've succeeded in redefining man cave.
Keep on going down.
is bringing the bones of history back to life.
Back in the 1960s, we were actually on the very front line of the Cold War.
This skeleton, made of steel beams and concrete, is known as Site 5, a silo that housed an Atlas F nuclear missile during the Cold War, meant to fire back at a country if America was hit first.
The warhead that was in here could have totally destroyed Moscow.
The silo is an engineering marvel from its blast-proof doors.
Take a look. This door weighs about 8,000 pounds, and you can see how easy it is to move.
To the springs built to hold the 300 million pound missile and platform.
This structure is not actually sitting on the ground. It is free hanging in space from these springs.
It could survive an enemy attack, and that stability is why Hotmeyer chose to turn it into a test facility for his national security consulting firm, Unconventional Concepts. But as new life is being breathed into it, steps are being taken to preserve its past.
For a little bitty museum, it's a big find.
This is the actual thing for this facility that would have had the locks on it.
Retired Air Force Colonel Joe McNichols
And the secrets are in there.
and Lieutenant Colonel Frank Berry are curators for the Plattsburgh Air Force Base Museum.
That's the original phone.
They're getting a piece of the silo added to its collection.
The most interesting part of this thing, if you can look, these are the actual key systems.
Like you see in the movies, the two keys that turn and launch the missile.
So we're going to be like Matthew Broderick in our little museum.
It's a rare find.
This is the actual console that controlled the missile on the very front line of the Cold War.
Most of them were sold off at the time the missiles were decommissioned, and most of them went to the scrap heap. We're very fortunate to have one that is nearly intact coming to our museum.
If you want to go up real slow.
The panel and the manpower needed to lift it out
Yeah, we're ready.
are being donated by Hotmeyer free of charge. Because to him,
Cable up.
the real value
Cable up.
is not in the machine.
When they kiss their wives or their kids goodbye, that could be the last time they ever saw them or anybody else.
But in never forgetting the sacrifices made by airmen and women.
Boom down. Having that mindset to be willing to use a weapon like that in defense of our nation, to me, that's the most incredible thing about it. The console has landed.
A sentiment that fits the mission of the museum perfectly.
I want them to come away from the museum with a greater appreciation of what life in the military was like, especially in the Air Force, for crews who were on alert and get a flavor for what their life was like defending this country of ours.
Making sure knowledge of what they gave up does not stay buried 187 feet underground. In Lewis, Vanessa Mishanya, NBC5.